our next coach today, who I don't know if home field advantage works in press conferences, but I guess that's what he and Coach Branch have here today. Coach John Reid, the new head coach at Tift County High School. I know he's excited about the Blue Devil program, as are everybody involved with it, and he brings a lot of success to this program. He spent the last 6 years at East Paulding High School, where he had a record of 60 wins and 15 losses, and that's a very solid record, even more so when you consider what happened at East Paulding before he got there, when they had won 29 games in 15 years, and he won 60 in 6 years. So you can see that he had a great job in turning that program around. He also won 2 state titles in Alcoa, Tennessee, before arriving in Georgia. Prior to that, he was a part of a staff that won a state championship in Indiana, which is his home state as well. So you can tell, again, he just gets smarter as he gets older, because he gets more south and more south. And so, but believe me, the South stops at the Florida-Georgia line, Coach. This is about as far as you need to go. So with that, let's introduce the new head coach of the Tift County Blue Devils, Coach John Reid.
I appreciate it, Chris. Once again, I want to reiterate what the other guys have said so far, and thank you for putting this event on. That's what makes it so exciting about being here in Tifton and in South Georgia. My wife reminds me all the time that we've been to 3 states, and that's it. So I want to make this home for quite a while. Once again, being the third guy to speak, the third new coach, a lot of the things the gentleman has spoke about before me are the same things we'll talk about. I think a couple words is, one is change. I mean, everything, all these kids have gone through a great amount of change since we got here in January. And the next thing, a word that would come up, and I know Coach Pruitt would say the same thing, is just questions. I could talk about names and names and names, but we don't know. We're meeting tomorrow to talk about some depth and things like that as a coaching staff. There's just questions out there as far as special teams and running back and quarterback and all those things. And I'll try to tell you today just some ideas of some kids that are coming back and where we think some strengths might be. But you know, we're just excited to represent Tift County and be in this region. Coach talked about they were knocking around the bottom. We've been at the bottom for 2 years, so there's nowhere to go but up. And we remind that to the kids and the people of the community that it's going to take, you know, some steps, and you know, gradual improvement is what we're looking for. We're looking to come out and be physical and you know, take it step by step this year. One of the things that we want to mention today is that we put together a great coaching staff, and they put in tons of time and just great effort, great positive attitude towards work with these kids. We've made some changes as far as how we're operating with the freshman group. We put 4 outstanding coaches down there and trying to turn around what we're doing at the freshman level, the JV level. We think success breeds success, especially when you're playing the same people in the region. And it's important for us to have success down there. We have not done that in the last few years. To mention a couple names, some strengths, some weaknesses. We have some kids coming back. I would say that I would also kind of follow the same trend that's been so far today. Is I think that if there is a strength, we have an offensive line that's coming together and has a little bit of experience and some game experience. We have Javion Dunham, who will be our starting right tackle, who played there all year last year, and that's encouraging to have kind of an anchor there. We've had a kid that's a tremendous long snapper, special teams player, and Ike Powell, who will be a junior. He'll be our left tackle. We moved him from center. And then, you know, there's some young men that I think will put together a pretty good offensive line, and they're younger players, and they're at the center and guard spots. We have a tight end that's coming back in Bo Bergeron, and he's worked on his skills, and he's got good size. He's 6'3", 6'4", and about 225 pounds. To go back a little bit, Javion's about 6'3" and about 300 pounds at right tackle, and the other one I mentioned, Ike's about 6'3" and a little lighter, 230, and getting bigger all the time and working hard in the weight room. We have a running back that's coming back, and it's a battle right now for that position as running back, as well it is a big battle right now at quarterback. We've got a kid that won some games last year, Chris Miller, and then some young kids that are battling for that spot, along with the spots of wide receiver. And like I said, questions, and those will be answered here when pads come on, and they'll be answered in some scrimmage and some team scrimmage and some live scrimmage against the other teams. From the defensive standpoint, I think that might, along with the offensive line, be something that's very encouraging. We've got a kid coming back. We've moved, and a lot of kids are not going to play the same position they played last year. As we try to put more speed on the field and to match up with people in this region, we've moved some kids around defensively. Rashad Parks, I think, was our leading tackler at linebacker. He'll play a different position, defensive end this year. We've got a good defensive back coming back in Gerald Pledger, who is an all-region player, and his position's changed as well. He went from corner to safety. And then we've got Ricky Sutton, who's a real good down lineman, and got great speed and power. Other than that, there's a lot of good players that are fighting for positions, and we're trying to build some depth there, like the previous coaches have spoke about. Special teams, we've got to find a kicker. We're working on getting a punter ready right now, and a lot of those things will sort themselves out here real soon. From a standpoint of looking at, and I know everybody asks this question, but you talk about what the challenge is ahead. It's pretty simple to understand how hard you have to work and how much success you have to have daily when you look at the region. We play Coffee, Colquitt, Camden, Valdosta, and Lowndes all in a row. There'll be no breaks, and you're going to have some depth, and you're going to have a few breaks along the way to even get through that schedule. So we have every day thinking about that. And then, non-region, we play Westover, Houston County, Worth, and Thomas County Central. So the challenges are there, and I think the boys have accepted that challenge. We've had a great turnout as far as summer with kids that want to do it our way. And we've challenged them to do it that way as much as just like Coach has said previous that to us. And they've done a great job of that. It's been a grueling summer, tough in the weight room, tough in conditioning, and they've accepted that challenge, knowing what's expected of them. Same thing with our middle school group. They've done a great job. They have workouts 3 days a week, and even sixth grade is a new startup for us this year, and they're working hard at the same time. So we're excited. We've got a bunch of great coaches, great community, and we're eagerly anticipating Wednesday, putting on the pads and starting the season out. Thank you.